I'm Jordan Palmer at Common Thread Collective. Today, we're going to talk about building your personal advisory board. I'll start with a story. I had a really weird NFL career where I played for a bunch of years, but I signed with an arena team and a UFL team, and I never started a game. But I was able to continue to play, and what I learned is the second half of my career was really business development. I developed a reputation and relationships in the NFL that garnered the opportunity for teams to bring me in to bring value. And so the second half of my career, it wasn't about how good I was at playing, it was about how much value I could bring. Training the younger players, bringing the other guys along. We sign a new guy, I'll get with them late at night and work with the offense with them and install everything. And it was about creating value. And it ended up being that I got to play a couple extra years than I probably should have. And all of that stems from somebody early on in my career that was a counselor, so to speak, an older player, a veteran player. His name was Mark Brunell. He was a guy who gave me the best advice possible. He said, figure out a way to be needed. The only reason I got that advice is because when I first got drafted, and he was the quarterback with the Washington Redskins, when I was meeting with him, he really pushed me to say, hey, you need to find those one or two people, and I had one in my brother who was an awesome resource, but find those one or two people who you can explain your goals to, who will check in with you, and will make sure that whatever course you set, they're making sure that you're holding yourself to it. And that was really the start of me forming my own personal advisory board. Now this past week at Common Thread Collective, we had our actual advisory board fly out. So some of them from Southern California, all the way from New York, Oklahoma, and 5 individuals came, and we locked ourselves in our conference room for 9 hours and went through every aspect of Common Thread Collective from a business, finance, opportunity, looking back and looking forward. So the idea of having an advisory board for a business is nothing new. A lot of people have them. It's common sense, I would say, more so than being smart. But not a lot of people I come across have a personal advisory board. Now, we all have people that we look up to, right? We may have great examples as parents. We may have older siblings. We may have an older friend. May have somebody our age. The idea of having people who help you out and give you advice, again, not a novel idea, but literally officially having a personal advisory board is something that I really want to talk about today and really push to everybody who's watching this. And this is regardless of your age, the success that you have or have not had yet, whatever your background is. This is really a challenge to anybody watching this. What I did was when I was playing in Cincinnati, I got cut after the lockout. I thought for sure I was done. And then I broke my ankle surfing and had 2 surgeries on my ankle. And then I was for sure that I was done. So what I ended up doing is, this was when I really took the idea of having a personal advisory board to heart. When I'd heard it my rookie year, I grabbed a couple people and was able to seek counsel from them. But at this point, when I actually literally wasn't sure where I was going to go, I was early conversations I was having with Taylor Holiday about potentially doing some e-commerce stuff. Kalo hadn't really gone yet. The Silicone Wedding Ring Company hadn't really started yet. I was looking at TV. I was married at the time, and so I had all this stuff going on, and I didn't have direction. So what I did is I was challenged by some of the same people who've been with me from when I was really little. I was challenged to make sure that I literally build a personal advisory board. So what that looks like is I actually got out a sheet of paper and I drew a bucket of each of the things that I was investing in. Now, not financially investing in, but I was investing in my wife. I was investing in setting up, at this point, I didn't have a kid yet. Now I have one and another one on the way, but family was going to be something I wanted to invest in. Business was something I wanted to invest in. I coached quarterbacks from middle school kids all the way to NFL players, and so I knew coaching was something that I was passionate about and I wanted to do. And then just my personal finances in general and how I was going to be a steward of the money that was going to come and go. So what I did is I had a couple of buckets, and I went out and I literally found a person and I officially asked them, will you join my personal advisory board? And what it's become is there's a lot of stuff going on. Life is busy. We have a bunch of stuff going on. I was just up early doing emails, and then I went and took my son skateboarding this morning, and we went and got breakfast. Now I'm at the office, and this afternoon I'm going to wherever I'm going. Every day we all have a bunch of stuff going on. But one of the things that I learned through playing football and running a business on the side while I was playing was the ability to compartmentalize. And so what I did is, from an advisory board standpoint, is I just compartmentalized each of the buckets that I'm investing in. And I actually have a physical person who's in charge of that. And so what I do is I explain all my goals and where I'm going with this bucket. So if it's finance, or if it's business, or if it's as a father, I explain kind of where I'm looking to go, what my goals are, and this person essentially holds me accountable to each of those things. And I try and check in quarterly with each of these people to make sure that I'm tracking towards the thing that I told them and I declared to the world that I was going to try and do and work towards. And it's somebody who can help me kind of shepherd down the path that I've laid out. So on the fatherhood advisory board, what I did is I just looked at who are the people who have similar lifestyles to mine who are amazing dads. From a financial standpoint, now this person is my financial advisor, but it's also somebody that I seek counsel on for all things finance, whether it's what I want to donate or what I want to save or what I want to actually work towards down the road. From a marriage standpoint, everything in my life starts with the relationship that I have with my wife. And so for me, I've got a couple of amazing people who are amazing influences and great examples of how to love selflessly and give back and care and really build a team. But I actually physically have a person that I go to for advice very specific who knows my relationship with my wife's relationship with me, and somebody who can hold me accountable. And so each phase of my life, I've just brought on a personal advisor. Now, if you have a business and you have, you already have those advisory roles filled out, that's great. If you have a financial advisor, that's awesome. If you have a mentor or somebody that you grab coffee with, that's all great. The challenge for me to you is to literally write it down, physically ask somebody, and then actually follow through with it. Because what you get is multiple bird's eye views on your life, but individual people just looking at this lane, making sure that you're staying in it. It's something that's been awesome for me. It's really also give me a different perspective on things as well. I may have 5 buckets, but they are actually in order of importance. Starting with my family and my marriage, and then going to finances, and then going to business, and then going to coaching. So I also actually have it in order in terms of the order of importance. So a fun thing to try, if you're married, start with somebody who's an advisor for your marriage. If you're not married and you have a job, start with somebody who's in a similar career path, who's where you want to be, who will actually take on the task of saying, yeah, I will join your advisory board and I would love to talk about it. My challenge to you guys, if you guys end up doing this and you get cool feedback, feel free to comment, shoot us, DM me on Instagram, or hit us up on any of our channels. Would love to hear about it. If somebody has an awesome story about this, send it on in. We'd love to talk about it. Thanks.